This is 101 ESPN from Super Bowl 46 in Indianapolis. Brought to you by Appliance Solutions, American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, and Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert.
Zach and the coach and Joe Theismann here on 101 ESPN. It goes without saying that Brady will be in the discussion, if he's not already, is one of the best of all time.
I think he's the greatest.
If not the best.
Do you? I do. I think he's the greatest that ever played the game.
Give me his flaw.
His flaw. He's inconsistent throwing the football outside the numbers. I did a statistical analysis because I was curious, because that's what I do at the NFL Network. I'm a stat nut. I love details and stats. He's 74% inside the numbers, at least when I ran it about week 14. He's 74% inside the numbers. He's 54% outside the numbers. You watch Tom throw the ball outside the numbers on outs or anything, they usually wind up in the ground, which means that he's probably short-stepping a little bit and he's not quite getting the ball into the delivery he wants. What's critical in this game, and as a defensive coordinator, I know you look at it, is that the center and the guards have to give Tom a chance to step up in. That is so critical to the success of the New England Patriots. If that does not happen, the New England Patriots cannot win. If Tom Brady is allowed to step into his throws and go where he wants to go with the football, I think we're in for a great football game. I think New England offensively will be able to move the ball against the Giants, because the mismatches fall in the linebackers, the Giants, against the medium-range passes of the New England Patriots. Now, I will say this. The Giants led the league, and they tied actually with Houston this year with 25 knocked passes down, tip passes. Tom throws the ball about an average of 7 yards down the field. So if you can't get to him, you get your arms up. And the other thing about the Giants is they're long up front. Umenyiora, JPP, Tuck, Canty. They're all 6'5", 6'7", and they're long-arm guys. And what they're going to do is they're going to take 2 steps. And if he's set to go, they're going to take 2 sets. I can't get to you. I'm standing there. And then I'm going to put those big, stupid wings up. And I saw Ed Too-Tall-Jones here, who I hate, by the way. He still looks exactly the same as he does. But what he used to do at the left defensive end position, because we ran a lot of 5-yard hitches, I'd drop back, I'd turn, all of a sudden I'd throw, and Big Ed would throw that. He and Harvey Martin would throw those hands up and just like swat it. I go, ooh, they hate you.
Well, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bill's worst nightmare is if I watched that first game again last night. Not the Super Bowl game, the first game. Worst nightmare was when Pierre-Paul and Tuck play inside, and Kiwanuka is a kind of a washover on the other guy,
right,
and then put Osi over on your defensive left. But just like you're talking about, that length overwhelmed me watching the tape again.
You watch something to watch in this game as fans is watch the way the Giant defensive line attacks an offensive line. The defensive ends at times will actually not even concern themselves with going after the quarterback. They will block down on the guard. By doing that, they bring their tackle down.
Right.
What happens is it creates a really short wedge, and it compresses the pocket. It compresses the pocket.
I got you.
Gives them a real short edge. So any kind of pressure up inside is pushing everything back in a quarterback's face. They did it to Alex Smith a couple times, and there's some great examples where you see Osi Umenyiora, just all he does is take one step up, and he's not even looking at the quarterback. He's going right down to take the guard out. Tuck comes around on a real tight edge, and even though he doesn't get to Alex, he forces him up where he doesn't want to be. It's the schematics of defense. And Rick and I, we used to sit in his office for hours and just talk about the schematics. And this is something that I've seen New England do, and I think it's all part of what Bill Belichick has been able to do. Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches that ever has coached the game of football. He's won at every level. I mean, you forget now what he did in New York because he's been so successful in New England. But I think a large part of the success with the Giants had to do with Bill's ability to be able to play. And you could see a Phil Simms type of game out of Eli Manning.
Coach has said nothing but great things about you, and
he's the best.
You've lived up to all the expectations for me. Appreciate it.
Great seeing you, Rick.
Thanks so much, Joe. Keep up the great work.